Hello and welcome to the fourth EveNT TV. I'm here with my co-producer, I don't even know his name, Starfleet Commander, and we've got our two guests here. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
I'm Tiberius Stargazer. I'm the editor-in-chief of the article section for EveNT.
Fantastic.
And I'm Nash Cadaver. I'm the commander-in-chief of EveNT, apparently.
Ooh,
I just made
lovely.
that up.
So talk to us about the event today.
Yep, so this is the fourth installment. It's really good, actually. We got almost sold out. Didn't quite sell out, but we still have just over 200 people. Lots of content again. We got 4 CCP devs. We've got Valkyrie. We have the tournament, which is ever popular still, and obviously the TV show.
Fabulous.
What about the? How about the Creator Studio? Anything going with that?
Yes, so EveNT is expanding rather quickly. We're picking up quite a few community projects. One of the things that we've obviously picked up, which is what you're watching this on now, is EveNT TV, which is like a Netflix for CCP videos. And additionally, we will be doing shows on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and most Sundays. So it's like a TV channel, hence EveNT TV. And we've got the very talented Mr. T. Amber working with us on what was previously known as Jeremy, which is like a tool where you can like sex up some ships and make them look really cool with unique ship skins and decals and stuff like that. And that's going to be ready very soon as well, so keep an eye on that.
About Tiv, so can you just give us a bit of rundown what you actually do, your role in the organisation?
So I'm the editor-in-chief for the article section of the site, where we produce regular articles, normally sort of at least one a day. The entire focus of that section of the site is in-game events, out-of-game events, and general community news. So we don't cover sort of in-game sort of meta news as such and battles, but really it's kind of to tell people what sort of things are going on, what things they can get involved with, and how to find out more information about it. We are opening up the article sections, so if people are running events, they can get in contact with us. More details for that will be on the website soon. And tell us about their event, and we'll get that up on the website so people can find.
Do you let people submit content?
Yep. It's very open. What we'll do is, at the moment, we're setting up some email addresses and things where people can just write something, email it through to us, and then we'll get that up on the site for people to read about.
Amazing. So last night there was a pub crawl, I heard, which was absolutely. Well, I actually went to.
Go?
I tagged along one of the last groups. I did.
You were the last one standing.
No, I wasn't actually.
Last one standing.
How fresh I am. I look super fresh. What are you on about?
We've got people in the audience actually, and one of them is very, very hungover.
Poor Rocket X is sitting in the corner over there behind the camera, and he's barely staying awake. He can't. He looks like a zombie. You'll see him off in the next one interview. But so you went to the last.
I did, yeah. So I joined. We had a little bit of setup to finish here. So I walked out, I have no idea of time actually, to be honest, but I joined with the Blue Group and joined them at Bunkers Hill, where I had a couple of beers with the boys, which was really good. They were actually quite well behaved. I don't know whether I just picked.
I heard the Hacks one was a bit rowdy.
It was a bit rowdy, wasn't it?
That's Red Group. Did you go in Red Group?
No.
What group were you in?
I was in Green.
Green. But Red Group was a bit rowdy.
It was the biggest group as well.
It was, I think there's 25 of them from the Corp of Hacks coming here today. There's loads of them. They've all got the t-shirts on, it's all great. But they were a bit, they got very rowdy. It was good.
Okay, well, I think I'm going to look at the footage from this. We perhaps see you jumping on someone. I don't know.
There's no videographic evidence of this ever happening.
Right, okay. Well, let's cut to the video and we'll have a look at everyone getting sloshed.
Thanks for this. He's not a buffer, so he's got plenty of hit points left. He's stuck now in real trouble. He is shield boosting, sorry, he's the shield boosting variant.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that video of everyone getting pissed.
The person running out the door at the beginning of that wasn't me. And I wasn't
drunk. It was good fun. I did go on a couple of pubs, it was a good laugh. But I want to talk about more stuff at this event.
Yes.
There's Valkyrie here.
Yes.
I've had a go.
Did you like it?
It's absolutely insane.
It made me feel sick. But
yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
it does make you feel a bit dizzy.
Are you sure that wasn't the hangover?
Combination.
But honestly, it does make you feel a bit sick. Once you get the hang of it, though, it's great fun.
I mean, the graphics are amazing. It's next level. I'm so pleased to have him back. So, I mean, CCP Guard is like my biggest help and support. Like, he's been really, really good and helping us get the CCPers on board, getting Valkyrie arranged and stuff like that. So a lot of work goes into it and getting it all set up. But once it's done, it's definitely worth it. I think everybody's having a good time. I think the pub crawl has been a good addition. I think
it has been.
It's been great. Yes,
there's been no casualties.
Well, it was a natural thing to do because the Friday night before was just always getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And the last time there was
so many people come up on the Friday anyway. Do you know what I mean? So it kind of made sense.
Where have people travelled from this time? Because I know they travel quite far and wide, don't they? Do you know?
Okay, so I know we have people from. There's one chap that flew in from Budapest. There's one chap that flew in from Sweden. We got Denmark. We got Germany.
Yep.
We got an American. Wales, that's a country. Scotland.
A lot of Scottish.
All over.
A lot of them.
Yeah. We got two girls from Belgium that drove in this morning. Iceland, obviously.
Iceland, obviously.
Iceland, yeah, we got
Master Plan will be on here next. Who else? Most of the people.
Jesus.
Some parts of the UK though. Lots of parts of the UK.
Yeah. Where did you drive up from?
I came from Essex.
Essex. So we got Essex, Bristol,
Devon, Dover,
and so many places.
Brighton.
People make a genuine effort.
Well, driving from there's two girls that drove here. From where, you said?
Belgium. They drove from Belgium this morning.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's dedication.
Wow, that's a good...
That's great.
That's a good journey.
Just talk about what's happening next door. So obviously you did scratch upon that there's
right, yeah. So there's a couple of parts of the content that we try to keep the same. Like there's a couple of things that really stand with what we do for EveNT. So obviously the live meets and the events is one part of it, but also the Esports, which is really important to us. So we've got the tournament, which is back. This time we have command destroyers and cruisers. So a couple of people have already been flying in that, and Bay RJ will be on later on the show to talk about it a little bit more. So that's going on right now. Then we have Valkyrie, which is on the first floor. We've got 3 setups there. And it's busy. It's about 30 people queuing
and
on
also, you got presentations.
We do.
As well.
Actually, we are going to be showing some of it over the weekend. So as it stands at the moment, this show is going to be out tonight, so Saturday. And then we have CCP Masterplan and CCP Lebowski, who are going to be talking about some capitals and the upcoming changes. They're going to do some demonstrations on CC, I believe. I haven't seen the presentation, so I'm very, very curious. I'll definitely be attending that. And the recordings of that will be out possibly this weekend. But as it stands, it's going to be an event exclusive. So it's going to be top secret, man.
That's going to be good. It's going to be great.
You might see it on the EveNT website, obviously, if our editor-in-chief would allow it.
And also, just saying, the PP tournament, they get prizes. Some really good prizes. I was looking at the boxes. There's some good stuff.
Yeah, man. I think a lot of the interest has come from the fact that people can walk away with something.
Yeah. There's a great headset, isn't it?
Yeah, Cool Master has been very, very good again to us and has given us 8 prizes to put in the tournament boxes. We got keyboards, headsets, mice. We got beers in there from Vedette, another one of our sponsors. Chill Blast has added a couple of bits in there. CCP has thrown some Plex and some apparel and some other bits and bobs in there, some books, which is really cool. What else is in there? Plantronics has sent 8 headsets, so there's a headset in all of the boxes. So yeah, lots of stuff.
Which I'm playing now, I'm not playing.
I know.
It's great, there's a lot of money in those.
Can't rig it though.
There's also a charity raffle, I was looking. Yes. Lots of people doing that as well, raising some money, isn't it?
Yes, so we stick with the same charity, which is my wife actually works for UK OTCF, which is an organisation that looks after wildlife habitats and the keeping thereof in the UK overseas territories. Wow, it's a fucking mouthful. So she works for that organisation and we support that charity. And so far, excluding this one, we've already raised $4,000 for this charity, which is really good.
Yeah.
And she's got a couple of big boxes to give away. Again, some CCP apparel. So we've got the bomber jacket, which is really cool. Loads of stuff from Vedette, beers, some gear. Man, there's so much stuff.
Lots of stuff.
Loads of stuff to give away.
Loads of stuff. I've seen all the boxes and all the. There's so much stuff there.
Really happy with that.
Well, I'm going to wrap this up now, but thank you for joining us, both of you.
Worries.
Thank you
Thanks for having us.
Co-star. Yeah. So join us after the break. We've got even more guests and even more to talk about at EveNT TV. See you later. Welcome back to the second part of EveNT TV. I'm joined by a new co-presenter and our guests, if you'd like to introduce yourselves.
I'm RockX. I've been flying with PL for a couple of years now and I'm mostly known for punting big ships and I'm here to talk about capitals today, I think.
Fab.
Yeah. And I'm CCP Masterplan. I'm a programmer for CCP, also working on the capitals feature at the moment. We'll be talking a bit about that.
Great.
So Capitals are part of the next expansion that's coming up, Citadel.
Yes.
And it's a very, very big part of that, and a lot of work has been going into it with you, Rocket, doing focus group.
Yeah, largely focus group stuff, yeah.
And what sort of process has been going on with the focus group? Tell us a little bit how you got involved with that and the sort of things that you've been putting forward to CCP.
Okay, so the way they kind of put it together is they made a forum thread. I think Larrikin made a forum thread, and several people signed up for it and justified why they should be in the group. I put my bit in, got into the group, and it's been a pretty interesting experience because obviously there's 30 people who feel very strongly about the game, and most of which have been playing the game for a long time. So there's been some heated discussion there, and I may have lost it with a few people a couple of times, but generally it's been pretty good. And the way we've been doing it is we'll discuss a topic and then devs will chime in here and there. And it's been pretty open to us. We were asked to discuss, for example, the capital plates and stuff like that, and how we wanted to drop the EHP on capitals to compensate for the fact they were now getting plates. So drop the raw hit point value. And we did loads of maths, and one of the guys made a spreadsheet, which classic Eve thing to do, right? And it worked out pretty well.
Spreadsheets.
Oh yeah, Spaceships Online, right? But we ended up coming up with very similar numbers to what Larrikin ended up throwing out afterwards as well, which was quite nice to see, because it basically means that we got it like right as far as they were concerned. We were in the right area, sort of thing.
And so a lot of that work has been going into a lot of the new features that are coming in. So the first major change is the new Force auxiliaries, or the Forxes, or the Faxes, whatever you prefer to call them. Do you want to tell us a bit about those, Masterplan?
Yeah, so we're splitting the carrier into two roles, an offensive role and then a logistics role. And so the Force auxiliary is the logistics half of the existing carriers. So there's 4 brand new ships. They have some quite cool triage animations. They're vertical, which is important for some people.
Vertical supremacy.
Exactly.
So now carriers are taking on a more combat-orientated role, where before they used to sort of do the 2 jobs. And one of the big changes on that, obviously, is the new fighter squadrons and the fighter UI. Do you want to talk to us a little bit about how that's going to work going forward, and what sort of thing players can expect when the new Capitals come out?
Mm-hmm. We wanted to make the new fighter system a lot more hands-on, interactive. Carriers are big, slow ships, so they're not kind of a very dynamic thing to play in terms of rapid kind of input. So the fighters are a way to let you make lots of decisions constantly all the time. So you've potentially got 5 fighter squadrons to manage in a super, and it's almost going to be like multi-boxing 5 frigates. You can fly them around. They have a huge range, thousands of kilometres from the ship if you need to. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how people adapt to those.
So no more triple boxing supers and stuff on big BTAC R fights, right?
No, not when you've got a whole bunch of squadrons to do.
You're slowly dying until
But
downtime.
the fighter animations are looking really, really good. We saw a couple of little clips in them in the last 07 show, when that came out. And it's a very big departure from when it used to be just the drone mechanic, where you threw out 10 and that was that. Now these are flying around acting as a group, as an individual entity all on their own, aren't they?
Yeah.
And there's, rather than just regular fighters and fighter bombers, we're getting the 2 extra classes as well. Tell us a bit about those and what their sort of roles are.
So we're splitting the current fighters up into there's 3 sizes now: lights, supports and heavies. Lights are obviously going to be the slightly weaker, faster fighters. Support are going to cover the ECM, the EW range, and then heavies are going to be sort of the long range, heavy DPS kind of damage platforms. So each of them will have different roles to play. You can fit a different mixture of them, in the same way ships can fit different mixture of turrets and launchers. Carriers and super caps can have a different mixture of lights, supports and heavies.
Fantastic. And not only are carriers getting their roles changed very much, we're also getting a whole bunch of new modules, as you mentioned earlier. We're getting plates and things like that. So go through some of the new modules that will be coming out, and how, sort of the reasoning behind why you guys have decided to put these new modules in going forward.
A lot of the modules that were used on supers were just the same as the battleship ones. So there was some XL progression, but there wasn't a lot of the large progression, so we split some of those up. There's a whole bunch of Tech 2 and faction variants of them as well now. And so it's going to be a whole new kind of meta of figuring out these new fits. You're the sort of guys that spend all day doing this, aren't you?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting, like balancing EHP and resistances, for example, with plates. Because if you use low slots on your Erebus for plates, then you're going to have less resistances, and so the reps from a Force Auxiliary will be less effective on your ship in terms of tanking damage. But you could also get alphaed in the same vein of it, sort of thing, if you're flying a carrier or something like that. So it's gonna need a lot of thought, and a lot of ships are going to die with horrible fits in the first few weeks while people work it out, and it's going to be interesting. It's a game changer. Like capital combat is just going to be so different after the patch. So I don't know where it's going to go really.
Yeah, because they kind of bring them more in line with the other classes of ships, or the smaller classes of ship, where you have a lot more in terms of fitting options. And now capitals are basically going to be the same sort of thing, but bigger.
Yeah, it's going to be a big strategy game as well, especially with the way that like all the super weapons and the area of effect stuff is shaping out in terms of where you put your stuff on grid, and like E-War resistances on different kinds of ships. Like supers will have a different resistance to like a siege dread or something like that. So if you drop your super on top of an enemy dread fleet and then fire your E-War thingy into it, it's going to affect you as well if you're too close. So you're going to want to be at range. But it's something people are going to have to figure out, because obviously if you're far away, you then can't tackle the target ship, which means other people have to do that, and then it gets like really, really complicated from there.
Yeah, we've tried to throw a lot more different tools into this now. So fighters behave differently. There's new super weapons that are going to behave differently. So it's very much here's a whole bunch of tools. Now you go and figure out what you think is the best way to do it, and then the best counters to those. So it's going to be really interesting to see what players come up with.
And I think we're all going to be looking forward to the new changes, which should be coming out sometime in the first half of this year, first quarter of this year.
That's the current plan, yep.
Fantastic.
Fab. Are you all questioned out?
I'm all questioned
You're
out.
all questioned out. Okay, well, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate you taking time out to come here today. Join us in part 3. See you soon. Hello and welcome back to EveNT TV for our third lot of interviews. I'm joined by my co-host again. I can't even remember your name. Don't even care anymore.
Come on.
No, I'm joking. And our lovely guests. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Sully, captain of the Tuskers Alliance Tournament team.
I'm Sutonio. I'm a producer for EveNT Collides and helping out with the tournament here, local live.
My name is Bayhart J. I'm the EveNT tournament director. I've recently inherited that title.
Woohoo!
That's great. So first one we want to talk about is the tournament that's happening right now at EveNT. Can you just give us a bit of a rundown of the rules, the teams, the fits, what they're doing,
Sure.
ships and stuff?
Yeah, so it's a 2v2 tournament. It's a 64-player tournament. People put their names in the hat. We draw out random pairings. Obviously, the idea is to create this kind of social element to it as well, so you meet someone new. So it's 1 T1 cruiser plus 1 command destroyer, and they battle it out in short fights, short brawly fights, and we've got some great prizes for the winners. It's
Do
just
they
a single
pick the
elimination.
ships themselves, or like?
Yep,
all the fits are pre-done.
Yes, all the fits are pre-fit. Me and Tony tested some.
Yeah.
So you just literally you sit down, you pick one of the cruisers or destroyers that have been fit for you. You jump in, walk to the arena, we do a countdown, you fight. It's very simple, very straightforward. It's just a bit of fun, really.
You've got the big screen, everyone can...
Yeah, a lot of cheering, a little bit of booing, all that sort of stuff.
Really? Oh, God. poor people. Anyway, so aside from that, we've got a couple of other tournaments, haven't we, going on at the moment. We've got the Fight Club and the Collides. So I know that Mr. Sutonio here is commentating the Fight Club. You're producing the Fight Club?
No, I'm not producing Fight Club. I'm only producing Collides.
You're producing Collides,
but I commentate on both.
Do you want to give us a bit of a rundown of Collides about the history and teams and stuff? And
so Collides is a 5 versus 5 tournament.
Yeah.
The current roster of teams are teams that were placed very highly in the Alliance tournament, or they were seeded because of taking part in the previous EveNT Collides.
Yeah. So I know that Simon, you got a team.
Yeah.
Haven't you, in the Collide? So how's that going right now? You just won your...
Yeah, so we just won our
last
second
game?
match against Hard Knocks Inc.
Yeah.
So now we're through to the finals, which I think are on the 1st of May.
Yes, I believe that's
or
true.
Thereabouts.
Yeah, because I'm in it as well. I've got my team. We're playing against Chess's team, Willard's.
Yeah.
So that should be good fun. As you're a captain, can you just give us a rundown of the sort of preparation that you sort of go through for these sort of things?
Yeah, so we tend to have a couple of theory crafting channels where we just talk to each other and bounce ideas off me and the other guys who come up, theory craft. and then we have a weekly practice where we start actually trying to test those ideas of what works, what doesn't work, and keep trying to iterate on the.
And that's internally.
Yeah, that's all internal.
Yeah.
So the good thing about Collides is it's a 5v5 format, so you can do most of it internally.
Yeah, compared to the Alliance tournament.
Yeah, well, you need a lot more people, and it's a really good way to try and get people who are less experienced in the tournament format into it, because it's a lot lower pressure and it's
pressure.
less.
That's what the Fight Club is more about. We'll talk about that now. More about the sort of newer people can just sort of play, and they have fit
so
ships.
The thing with Fight Club is it's all Tech 1 ships. We don't have any Tech 2 ships. It's just one Tech 1 frigate, one Tech 1 destroyer, and up until battleship. And all of the fits right now are pre-fitted. So you don't have to worry about fitting. You just have to worry about bringing 5 people to fly those 5 ships.
Are those done? So the Clydes and the Fight Clubs, they just working, every 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think the next Fight Club's on the 28th, I believe.
It's next weekend.
Yeah,
next weekend.
Next Fight Club's next Sunday. It's a short season. It's quite experimental format. We're just trying to kind of develop a format that is more accessible. Little sneak preview next. This Collides, the Fight Club, are going to wrap up in May, and then there'll also be a break for the Alliance tournament for team captains such as Sully to focus on that. Obviously that takes up about 3 months a year.
It does, yeah.
And then hopefully we're going to sort of relaunch our Esports program again in October. We're actually going to go for a slightly different setup. We're going to kind of merge the two together. We haven't exactly. We're still in development phase in terms of the rules, but there'll be basically an A league and a B league, and the idea will be sort of 10 teams in each, and there'll be a little bit movement up and down there. So we're going to have like an autumn season and a spring season.
That's brilliant. So sort of like not copying, but like heading towards the more bigger esports.
Yeah, so like a lot of MOBAs,
MOBAs,
like
esports.
League Legends, Dota, things like that. So they have kind of, sort of kind of basically, I wouldn't say ripping off, being inspired by a lot of their ideas.
I think the Alliance tournament is very limited, and this is better because not only is it less people, because the Alliance tournament, as you know, and I know, you can't really train internally unless you have like 30 people, which is not going to happen. What happens is we'll train each other against each other, and everyone sort of trains against each other. But in this one, like you said, you have the people to do it internally, which is so much better, isn't it?
I mean, it's really good because then you get to develop each people. So you can get like 2 FCs. Because you've got to have 2 captains, mini captains, to run each mini team. So
the 2 leagues, that's going to start.
So that'll be from October. Details are very it's still work in progress at the moment.
Well, the people that win the Fight Club, they're going to get sort of seeded.
Yeah, the people that win this experimental Fight Club, they're going to get places in that league. Same with Collides, we'll put the winners through, and then the plan is to take a selection of teams from the Alliance tournament again. So we do invite to the top teams of AT, the captains.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you have any prizes for the Collides? We've got some.
Collides is absolutely fantastic. CCP, when Nash originally proposed this season, I approached CCP to ask them if they would be happy to actually make us some custom skins. So if we don't want something in the game that's going to have an impact on the game in terms of the Alliance tournament ships are very, very powerful ships. As a player run thing, it would be a little bit iffy to put those in give those rewards in the hands of players. So instead, they've actually designed us some Typhoon skins, which are given away as prizes for Clydes. They look absolutely gorgeous. They're a lovely orange, white.
I saw them on the website. They look really
orange,
cool.
white, and blue skin. I'm actually really jealous because the commentators and organisers don't get them. It's all the prizes are going to the competitors.
My team, we've got some already, haven't we?
Yeah, I think everybody's.
I've already got some. My team members are very keen to put them on. They're really cool, actually. They look cool because some skins in the game
are a bit quite subtle. These ones are quite distinctive.
Really Interstellar.
Interstellar
Gaming Corporation. Yeah,
it's really cool though. Do you reckon? I mean, because obviously they won't give you Atanas or like AT ships. Do you reckon they might? This is a sort of start of them maybe giving you some more stuff like for the.
I think skins is a really nice way of doing it because they do have some in-game value as collector's items. Obviously, I think they'll be quite valuable, but they won't have like an impact in terms of the gameplay.
Well, there's only 150 of them, isn't there?
So there will be very.
So
limited.
It's just going to be that forever.
Yeah. So fingers crossed we'll be able to do a similar thing for the next season.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
Yeah. Can I just touch on sponsors?
Yeah. So for the tournament out there, we've got so it's 2v2 setup. We've got 2 computers from Chill Blast and 2 computers from Cool Master. So those guys have lent us their equipment for the day, and also they've lent us all the screens and everything to go with them. So it's really, really great that Nash has managed to.
We also got EveBet as well.
Yeah, also EveBet sponsoring the event. We've got Plantronics as well, who've donated some headsets for the prizes. I think that's it. I'm missing someone, I'm sure I am. But
probably, yeah. We'll tell you afterwards, maybe.
Yeah. Well, no, I think that's everything, isn't it? Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate you taking your time out. And yeah, join us after the break. Hello and welcome back to EveNT TV. I'm joined by my favourite co-host. I don't even want to read it. No, and we're joined by our lovely guest. If you'd like to introduce yourself, please.
Sure. So I'm CCP Tara. I work in the Reykjavik office for CCP as a French translator, or linguistic owner, as you call it. So I take care of translating the game into French, translating all the marketing content, and I also work with the French community as well, the player community.
Yeah, I'm Nick. I used to be a small gang PvPer, solo PvP, that sort of stuff. But I haven't really been playing the game for the last 18 months because of school and stuff. So I've been mostly going to these events still and keeping up with the news on Reddit and all that stuff.
Takeda Shada, I've been playing with the Bastards for a while, but recently just moved to Pandemic Horde. And that's it, basically.
Brilliant.
Lovely.
So, CCP Tara, could you just give us a bit of a rundown on your role as a CCP employee and what you've been doing here, actually, because I'm not really too sure about what you've been doing here today.
Mystery.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with what I do. So I'm, as I said, I take care of translating the game and making sure it looks really good into French. We launched Eve in French September 2014. So it's still a bit recent. So, but when we launched, it was we really wanted to make the game really well. So I arrived in Iceland to kind of make sure that all the terminology looks good. So translating all the everything that we want.
So you have to go over every UI. The tutorial stuff.
We have
just read.
Everything. Go in the game. We have internal database where we have all the lists of all the words that we can. All the content. Of course, otherwise it would take ages. Yeah. But we did have testers. To make sure that the game itself, in the game, it looks good and everything. So, so basically translating the client, but also translating marketing articles, dev blogs, taking care of everything, making sure that our French players are up to date with Eve news.
Is there a forum section as well on the website?
Yeah, there is. There is a French section. Yes, exactly.
The community probably can't read it.
So we have a forum in every language that we actually support. So we have German, we have French, Russian, and a bit of Japanese as well. Yeah. And I'm taking care of mainly of the French section, basically. And so another part of my job is also to take care of the French player community, because I'm the one on the forums and everything, so I just also help them out with player gatherings. Since we got the French version in EVE Online, the community has been more and more active, and it's really nice to see that many people gathered and everything. So we're trying to kind of help them out, sending them swag, helping them with organizing a bit. We also have I'm trying to put up an ISD team together as well, a volunteer team. To help out as well. So it's really fun.
And
really fun.
What are you doing here today?
Valkyrie? Yes, exactly. Yeah. So today I'm here to help CCP Red Cape, who's a community developer for Valkyrie, and we're just showing demos of Valkyrie, showing the world how it looks like, and yeah, it's very exciting.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And so, Nick.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about yourself. What you've been doing. I heard you've been getting around. And by the way, can I just say, for the viewers, doesn't he look
dapper? Absolutely
everyone
dapper.
else
It actually started...
You are the smartest dressed person here today.
Started as a bit of a joke. The first time I went to an Eve meetup was Eve London, I think, like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I just figured I'd bring a blazer, because that's what the British wear.
Right.
And I came here with like I think I had a bow tie and a blazer. And
people say...
People were kind of not dressed the way I was expecting, but then it turned into a thing, and I figured I might as well roll with it.
It's brilliant. People say, because I didn't know your name, but I knew... Someone said, "Oh, it's the guy dressed in suit." I was like, "Oh yeah, I know that guy."
Mr. Dapper, Mr. Dapper.
Knows who you are.
I can't wait for the day you turn up in a tracksuit.
Everyone's gonna be like, "What?
Who is he?"
No, exactly. I can't switch it out now.
It just looks amazing.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you go to a lot of meets. And
This is, I think it's my 5th. I've been to 2 Eve London meetups, which are also great.
Yeah.
But I prefer EveNT because it's obviously a lot bigger.
Yeah. I think Eve London's just in a pub.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but still a lot of people go to it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's usually crowded.
Yeah, because I know
60 people
it's
or something
soon,
like
isn't
that.
it? It's
I think it's like in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's very soon.
Yeah.
Have you been to anything abroad or like?
No, it's only
just been UK.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's abroad for me, but
But like, I mean, like just
no other
countries.
country.
No.
My goal is to visit FanFest, obviously, but since I'm a student, I can't really.
Same, I can't afford it either.
No, exactly.
Obviously, you've.
Well, I'm there, so.
So it's kind of a thing. Have you been to FanFest?
FanFest, yeah.
So
you don't have to buy tickets.
Really good place.
Is it really good? Because I've never been there.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's well worth the money and the trip to go.
It just looks really fun. I always watch the stream, but I just like you said, I can't afford it.
No, next year though. Next year I'll have a job. I finish my studies in a couple of months, so you have my word on it.
Okay.
Very good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Definitely.
So, you've been doing your Cardiff. Yeah, how's that going?
Well, okay, we're just setting up now, really. Basically, I just fed up with driving 3 hours to every meet going, you know what I mean? So, like, it's going to be once a year in a pub, very much like a Vito meetup. And that's basically it, just in June.
Is it the first one?
It is the first one, yes. So I'm hoping to get Nash down and a few of the boys just to kind of kickstart it off, you know what I mean? But it's just a really chill atmosphere, you know what I mean? Pub atmosphere. And that's basically it. Like, it's just.
That'd be good.
I'm hoping so, yeah. I'm hoping I'm just not the only nerd sat in a pub on my own, you know. I'll be the main thing.
I don't think so. There'll be some other people there with you. There's a lot of Welsh players. That are out there,
apparently. I've just never met them. I think they all avoid me for some reason. No, I'm not sure.
It's a tattoo. Scary.
It could be.
If you dressed like Nick here.
Yeah,
I was thinking of that, you know what I mean?
But
no, the trouble is, you drive these means you can't afford to dress nice, you know? It's like,
that's where your money's going.
Yeah.
Nick.
Could be.
It's where all your money's
you're
going.
onto something.
You're like, I'll just buy this £200 blazer. Because that's what matters.
So have you all had a go at the tournament that's going on next door? Have you?
The PvP tournament?
Oh yeah, you're going on after this, aren't you?
Finishing this and going to fight some people.
Who are you with?
Ooh.
I'm with a girl who runs Ministry of something footwork. Yeah, she runs the Airlines tournament team, so I'm hoping that she's better
good.
than me, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it your first match?
No. Yeah, it's the first match now, yeah.
Ah, okay, so you picked a ship or you don't know what you're doing?
Yeah, I keep those close to my chest. You
know? Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That's the secret.
Got to, haven't we? Yeah,
I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't try and get some good intel. I'll quickly go and make a bet or something. No, I'm joking. No. So you're going to be playing, is it TV2, isn't it?
Yeah, 2v2.
Yeah.
Command destroyers and a cruiser.
Yeah.
And just like, knock out rounds, that's it.
Are you going to do you communicate with each other?
Oh, yeah.
Like, because you sit next to each other, don't you?
Yeah, we sit next to each other. Obviously, you just lean over and talk.
But the other team is literally just
just
around the corner.
Just be quiet.
Yeah.
Hey, kill him. Things like that.
So is there anything else you want to... Any other community events going on recently? There's a lot about the CSM, but we'll talk about that later on. But you do the French stuff, really. That's basically your role.
FanFest coming soon. And
Yeah.
we're all
that is
it.
coming up soon. God, it's like a couple of...
It's in April,
God,
21st,
really
23rd.
There's still tickets for sale.
Yes, of course.
Got to plug
Take
that.
a ticket.
Buy some tickets.
Take a ticket.
There, right?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Do you all stay in the same hotel? Because I'm just going to ask questions because I don't actually know.
Yeah, sure.
Do you all just when you buy a ticket? Do most people stay in the same hotel, or is it like lots of different?
It depends. You have lots of different packages. We have many partners with FanFest, so we usually get discounted deals pretty much.
Because loads of people go, so it's just
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's not
Do
just
you have
one hotel.
how many people go in general? Is it
How
like-
many?
Yeah.
Well, last year I think it was more than 1,000. I don't have like the exact number.
Yeah, just
But yeah, more than 1,000 for sure.
it's gotten much more popular over the past.
Yeah,
3
it is, and
years.
it's just like more and more diverse, I would say.
Yeah, it's a lot more
as
going on.
well.
It's more
Yeah.
like you got Valkyrie and
exactly, and
Dust
Gunjack and yeah, so
Gunjack, yeah,
Gunjack,
that's the thing going on.
Yep, that's gonna be fun.
But Dust is finishing now, isn't it, on
Yes.
PlayStation, unfortunately.
PlayStation's, yeah.
But we'll see how that goes. I think it's not over. It's not over yet.
Over there.
But it's I had played it.
Always
It's a good
been your
game.
height.
Yeah, I just thought it's on PS3. But anyway, so.
Cool. Right, I think that's everything. Thank you for joining us.
Of course.
Lovely to have you, especially Mr. Dapper.
Absolutely
So
amazing.
good that
Honestly,
you're back. I'm actually really excited
Even
every
the
time you come back.
shoes.
I
Even
know.
the shoes.
Oh my God,
Shoes
wow.
are the most
If you can
important
see that
part.
account, his shoes are absolutely.
Obviously.
I know. I'm going to hide mine.
Honestly, I'm wearing Adidas.
Ordered from England, actually.
I think you just got them from outside.
Yeah, those are nice too.
I traded them with Tramp on the way in. That's the reason for me.
It's pretty much the same though.
And even
No,
he's got the
Yeah, the little thing.
It's an ascot, yeah.
You
You need to get yourself one of them.
You need to.
You need to get yourself.
I actually brought a second one.
Do you know what,
There you
if you went to the Royal Ascot, you'd fit right in.
What's that?
It's the betting on the horses.
Yes.
You go there
yes.
and everyone will just assume that you're just meant to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they would expect me to spend a lot of
Yes.
money.
Yeah,
right?
you're gonna have to, you're like, oh no, I can't. This costs.
Right. I'm going to leave it
awful.
there, guys. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for my co-worker. If you join us after the break with some more guests and some more fun. Thank you for joining us back at Sorry.
Teeth?
I'm just going to say thank you for joining us after the break. Okay. Thank you for joining us after the break. We're joined here by even more guests. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
Ask it over.
Pothny.
Jintan.
Okay, so we're here to talk about, is it CSM?
Yes.
Very good.
Thank you, I'm doing well. Do you want to tell me a bit about it?
I think you would probably
Yeah.
more suitable to maybe explain what it is.
So the CSM is a player-elected body, democratically elected by the players, and it works as basically a feedback communication machine between the players and CCP. So they sign a non-disclosure agreement, so they get to see really early development stage material, and they get to discuss with CCP initial feedback on what CCP are working on. In addition to that, they get to represent the player base's interests as one of the many feedback devices via the forums, Reddit, or whatever, CSM or another version of those, where you can say to your CSM candidate or to any CSM candidate, hey, this thing in the game is broken, or this thing in the game is really good, I want more of it, and the CSM rep can go to the communication channels they get put in and say, hey, this thing is a big issue for us right now, we need more of it, we need less of it, we need this to be fixed.
Okay.
So it's a two-way communication machine between the players and the devs, where the CSM just get a bit more access behind the scenes at CCP so they can fulfill that role.
Fab, so all three of you are running for it.
Yes.
And how many people can you have all together?
12.
It's
12?
12 indeed, yeah. 12
Okay.
maximum.
It's
And
12 not
why-
14 in the total CSM.
That's right.
Yeah.
How many people are
Okay.
running? 64 or something like that?
Big
Loads.
number.
Yeah.
Mostly from our
Oh,
Well, we're the
really?
most popular, obviously.
Oh,
Yeah.
obviously. Okay. So what are your reasons for wanting to get into this? Obviously, I know you get to see all the new stuff before it actually comes out, but
I think that most CSMs have the kind of the same end goals for running for the CSM. I mean, there are a few exceptions, but most people want to be there because they want to see the game get better.
Yeah.
They want to see support for their areas of the game, and they really want CCP to, they want to be able to provide the feedback that CCP needs to make this game even better than it already is.
and you think you can do that, right?
Oh, of course.
All three of you.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be here.
I don't know, I'm just doing it for fun.
And what sort of areas are you all representing for this year's CSM?
Let's go down the sofa, I think.
All right, well, I'm aiming to represent alternative playstyles within EVE, specifically things that aren't NBSI, so not red, don't shoot, and not purple, shoot it.
So kind of playstyles that don't mesh with the normal kind of social norms of EVE, but very integral to how the game operates on a content-based level.
Okay.
So the main thing I do in EVE is fleets of like say 15 to 45 guys, and I really like seeing in terms of ship balancing, not just having just one ship that's the best at any one time. For example, we had Ishtars forever and it was boring. I really like having lots of different tools, lots of different options that are well balanced and are interesting choices that mean that players who really think about it, really put the effort in, really put practice in, get to show off their skills, and then within that still having options for new players so they can still play the game and still get involved. So it's a really difficult balancing trick, and through my experience with EVE Uni to Waffles to PL, I kind of have a finger in all those different pies of different levels of experience. Big advocate for player-run tournaments. I've casted the Alliance tournament twice now, and just generally speaking, I really enjoy listening to people talk about their ideas and discussing and just being really involved in the community.
Okay.
Myself, yeah. So I guess platform is you hate this word, don't you? Platform is gay.
It's ugly.
It's okay, fine. I'm going to say platform anyway. I guess my platform is I run on two parts really. So I run on the two bits that I have most experience in, that are sort of out of the bounds of what most people run for. So I don't do anything game design because I'm not clever enough. I don't have enough involvement on that side of it, but I do have a lot of involvement on two aspects that are a little bit out of bounds, but are still very important. So the esports sides and the event stuff. So whether this is in-game events or obviously where we are here today with out-of-game events. And I want to try and bring my expertise and experience in that side to CCP and help them make it easier for organizers to be able to do these kind of things, make it more clear. There needs to be a little bit more clarity in my opinion. So there's a couple of proposals that are already written up and sort of ready to go. And they don't necessarily have to go through the CSM, but being in the CSM would give me a little bit more clout and more ears to hear these kind of things.
So how did they decide who's going to go? Obviously, I know that loads of people are going for it. How did they decide who they're going to?
It's a democratic vote within the player base. Effectively, it's almost like a parliamentary system. It's quite interesting, but yeah, the voting demographics are quite diverse because there's these huge nullsec blocks that obviously have their own agendas and they try and push for people to vote for specific candidates.
Okay.
And also you have wildcards like the low sec dwellers. Is there a term for people who live in low sec?
Low sexers.
Low sexers, okay, cool. Wormholers, faction warfare. You've even got the high sec candidates that brought in Azariah last year. Yeah, so there's a lot of demographics to kind of appeal to, and that's quite interesting from a social engineering standpoint.
The bloggers and the EVE media types as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. The Prosper ticket, things like that.
It's a bit of it's unfortunately it is a little bit of a popularity contest, which is a bit of a shame. I think people that have a genuine interest in it would research the candidates and really go and put a vote for the platform. Sorry, I'm going to use it again. The platforms that they support. So they'd look at it and basically read their ideas on the forum and basically go, yes, I agree what he's saying or what he's not saying or whatever, what he stands for, and I would like to throw my support. And that's really how you get the votes.
That's fair, yeah.
And for people that want to do some research on the candidates, we have the Vote Match, which is the longest running site where I believe all the candidates get to answer a questionnaire. Put all the details in, you go in, you answer the similar questions on what's more important to you, and it matches up people for that. You can also, I'm going to do a little plug for Cap
Of course,
Stable,
yeah, definitely.
because they're doing interviews with everybody, and I believe you've all been interviewed by Cap
That's really good
Stable,
actually.
so
I really
you can
enjoyed that.
go and-
I mean, it was stressful, really stressful, but it was really good.
They're harsh guys. They dig up everything. They find
They
everything.
found pictures of me vomiting at FanFest.
Oh, nice.
Oh wow.
They were, do you know what? I think
I made sure nobody took pictures when I vomited at FanFest.
I think the thing about Cap Stable is it's like, I don't know how it was for you guys, but like the style of interviewing is really cold. Like there is no indication on whether they like you or they don't like you.
I think that's the best way.
It's
though.
really
I
fair.
really do.
I felt it was really fair.
Yeah.
It was like quite cold. It was like, these are the questions, and here's a little bit of your own personal background and history. We're going to dig and see what you've got to say on these kind of things.
Okay.
But it was done in a really fair way.
And they put so much work in, like the volume of interviews they've done and the analysis shows, and they've got so many people on staff and tying it all together. Like it's a monumental task.
I do like how they put you under pressure though, because they're just...
Yeah, oh dude, I was shitting myself, honestly. Like, there's been a couple of candidates that have like a more shady past, I guess, and they get like grilled a little bit more, like again, still in a fair way. But like I listened to some of them and I was like, oh man, I just know some of the things that they're gonna ask about, and I was really nervous for the whole thing.
Yeah.
Once it was over, I was like, oh yeah, you know, I got to say what I wanted to say, I guess, and stuff like that. But listening back to it, there's like loads of and
like, when do you find out then? When does everyone find out?
So the voting period starts on the 29th of Feb. And that runs for a full month.
Full month up till FanFest, I think.
Yeah.
Almost.
Oh, okay.
And then the final candidates will be announced at FanFest.
Yep. So we'll be sat in the audience,
Yeah.
waiting, going, are we in?
Are we going to find out before, do you think?
No.
Is it literally going to be on the screen?
No, it's going to be on the screen.
Oh man, that's dreadful.
Yes, fine. Either way, you're either going to have a pint to celebrate or you're going to have a pint to commiserate. Either way, you just got to have
I'm happy either way then.
Sweet. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
For more information as well, on the EveNT site, we've been running a series of articles as well, so you can find that. There will be a collection, sort of a compilation article of those coming out just before the voting period starts, so you can find out some information on there as well. I think.
Anybody, anything else?
I'd just say, in terms of when you're a player looking to vote for people, and this is important for CSM candidates, for people not running for CSM, is when you look for people to vote for, there are going to be people that represent your play style and your what you do. So say you're in low-sec, there will be some low-sec candidates, high-sec, some high-sec candidates. What I think is really important is that you also look beyond that scope. So say you live in high-sec, look at low-sec, look at null. And yes, that's not your area of expertise. They're not going to be number one on your ballot, but it's really important to look at people who you believe and who you see as good communicators, people who can have open communication, who will listen and aren't just kind of big personalities that are just kind of really just doing their thing. So even if they go on a low place on your ballot, if you really take the time to think about, okay, this person, while they might not do they might not do my thing, but I think they're a good communicator. I think that this is someone I feel I could still go to even if it's not my area. This is someone who I want to represent the player base.
And that's probably one of the most key things about the CSM, because I guess you guys are going to be representing the player base to CCP. They're going to be talking to you, you're going to be talking to them, and then you'll be going out into the player base to find information out in particular areas that CCP might want to find information.
It's like that middleman kind of thing, isn't it?
Obviously, because of the sandbox nature of the game, any change in high sec or any change in low sec or any change in null sec is going to affect those other spaces anyway. So you want to have well-informed and very much people who can look at both sides of an issue. You don't want someone who's anti this or pro this. This isn't real life politics. We don't have genuine power. What we're there to do is we're there to advise, we're there to criticise, and we're there to help them develop the best game they can.
Well, I hope you all do really well. I'm afraid that's all we've got time for, but thank you for joining us.
No worries.
We'll see you after the break. Welcome back to EveNT TV. This is the final part. I'm joined by more guests. If you'd like to introduce yourself, guys.
I'm CCP Lebowski, so I'm at the QA for Team 5.0. So I've been working on the Capitals release recently.
I'm Starfleet Commander. I'm producing this show and I'm a co-presenter, but Tibbs has taken my spot for this one, which is I'm pretty annoyed about because it's the last one, but whatever. Anyway, so we're here to talk about some Citadels.
Yes, Citadels.
Going on. You're gonna...
So, Citadels is the next big expansion that's coming out in the next few months. one of the main features of one of the two main features, which is obviously the capital changes, is also the new Citadels, which you've been doing some work on as well.
Yeah, so I'm working, because this release is so kind of intertwined, we've got capitals and Citadels going together, they're so tied up in each other that Game of Drones are the team who are doing the Citadel stuff, but I've been working very closely with CCP Claymore, who's the QA tester for that team, and working we've been doing kind of internal play tests a lot recently. That's been the most recent thing, is we've been shooting Citadels with a lot of capital ships and things like that.
So for people that don't know necessarily what Citadels are, what are they?
So Citadels are new, I guess you'd say, like mega structures that we're adding to the game. They're huge, huge player-built structures that will contain a lot of the things that you conventionally think of as things that stations would have. So that's things like there'll be player-run markets. There'll be things like corp hangars and inventory and reprocessing, all those kind of things that you get with an outpost or with an NPC station. That's going to be something that players can now build for themselves. It's kind of ultimately it's something that's kind of moving in to the dream is to ultimately replace things like the POS system with this, and hopefully kind of add lots more after the Citadel release.
Yeah, because the POS system is one of the older systems in there, and
it is.
It's a little bit outdated.
It's very outdated. It's a pain to run. Absolute nightmare. It's been a problem for a long time, hasn't it?
It has. It's one of those systems that has been around. Yeah, been around for a while, and in some cases has not been
it's all back
worked
to the SOV,
on.
isn't it? It used to be the SOV mechanics.
Yes, so
SOVs. How many POSs you had in the system would dictate if you own the system or not.
Exactly, yeah. So that was before my time, but I heard talks of those days where it was all about POS warfare, so POSs are staying around for now, but they're not going anywhere. We don't want to remove them before we reach the same feature parity, as you could call it, with the new Citadel. So we want to make sure that Citadels have everything that POS can do and more, hopefully. And then at that point, we can start talking about what we want to do with POSs. But we want to encourage everyone to move to Citadels because they're so much better. That's the idea.
And there's 3 of these.
Yes.
Coming out. There's the large, the medium, large, and extra large.
Yeah. So I think it's the Astrahus, the Fortizar, and the Keepstar.
What's the price range? Do you remember because the XL is like really expensive.
Yeah. So
it's like
put me on the spot.
More than a Titan.
Yes. The XL. The XL's
it's like over 100 bill.
It's something. It's around. Yeah, I think so. And the rig. And they also have rigs. I think that's something that's worth mentioning for anyone who doesn't know.
Because they have. Because in the old system with the posits, it's you anchor the stick. And then you put the individual modules on and guns on each side. But these have a completely new method of fitting, don't they?
Yeah, well, it actually conveniently it's a method that everyone's already familiar with. What we've done is essentially these new structures are, in a sense, huge stationary ships. So they have rig slots like ships do. They have high, low, and medium slots like ships do. They have a fitting window that everyone will be really familiar with. Like if you played EVE at all, then you know about that. And they'll also have another slot which is called the services slot, and that's for things like market and all those kind of perks that you get from having a station. You can add in there, and that will be what kind of consumes fuel those services. So that's the cost of running the Citadel. So it's very familiar to anyone who's flown a ship before, and you'll find that if you become the Citadel gunner, that's very familiar as well. You'll have a similar HUD, you'll have modules to activate, and people to shoot, hopefully.
And thinking of the gunning, you recently were running tests on Duality, I believe it was.
That's right, yeah.
And we invited all the players to come in and to see these things for the first time.
I was there as well.
And you brought in an XL Citadel.
We did, yeah. So it was kind of a treat for the end of the test, like an incentive for people to come along. Where I jumped into a solo system and dropped the Keepstar, as it's called, and invited everyone to come. It was pretty fun, actually. I think everyone really enjoyed it. There was a lot of confusion. I
died at the beginning.
Did you?
Yeah, I died, and then I thought, well, I can't be bothered to go back again. I took a screenshot, but they're massive. It's really cool.
They're really, really huge, and it was quite funny because it was the first time that a lot of people's clients were loading the asset. So a lot of people were landing on the grid and going,
I walked in and nothing was there. there. I was like, oh, great job, CCP.
Like, I don't see anything. I just see a bunch of ships with it. Whoa, there it is.
And it just sort of appears.
I mean, it's really difficult to sort of, because we've seen a lot of the concept art, and we've seen a lot of the initial sort of development stuff when it was announced at FanFest and the 07 shows and things like that. But you don't quite really get the scale until you're in a frigate and you're flying past one of these things, and it just fills your whole screen, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think the scale really hit it for me when I was looking at some of the artwork for it and some of the concepts, and you know, you're looking at the picture of the Keepstar, and then you see a tiny ship in front of it, and you go, "Oh, what's that? Is that a frigate or something?" You're like, "Oh no, that's an avatar. That's an avatar, just like a little tiny avatar in front of it."
I think we need to quickly cut to Jenny. Been going on a little walk around.
Yeah, if you couldn't make it today, we've got a little video of me walking around and showing you everything that's cracking off. So take a look. Hello and welcome to EveNT TV. This is the studio where we're doing all the interviews with all the game players. If you'd like to follow me into Antenna Bar.
Okay, ready to go to the next match. We have blue team with Roman and Steve.
You can come back to be angry about the watch list thing again.
I think that's about it. Grab us here or online or, you know, all the usual stuff. We really do want to get those feedback on this. We're hoping to get a public test server in a couple of weeks, maybe. So thanks a lot, guys.
It's not intelligence, it's just ego. Sort of thing. Is this fighter class or
Yeah.
This is your fighter class.
Sorry, you can fight from Invisalign.
Wasn't that fantastic? Loved it.
Good.
Only because I was on it, that's why. No.
But now I actually want to talk about something that you just recently, literally 10 minutes ago, have released some information which has angered many people.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a contentious thing. So, for those who don't know, there's a feature
exclusive, by the way.
Yes. For those who don't know, there's a feature in Eve called the watch list, which basically means you can add someone as a contact, and you can add them to your watch list. Sorry, and you'll know instantly if they are online or offline. You get a notification when they come online. This is something that's been used a lot by different groups. So
everyone uses it.
Yeah.
And super fleets to checking who's online, to checking if FTs are online.
Exactly. It's super. It's super useful information. Yeah. But for a while, certainly some game designers have had a kind of an issue with the fact that it's instant perfect information at no cost. Essentially, there's no penalty for having someone on the watch list. It's never incorrect. There's no gameplay there. It's just. You know this or you don't. So as of, it's currently scheduled for our next release in, I think, 4 weeks, something like that. We're going to make watchlist mutual, which means that if someone does not have you added to their watchlist, they will always appear as offline to you.
I feel sorry for Wrecking Crew.
Yes, so there was definitely some sad faces in the...
Okay, he's not happy. He's already been hungover today. He's going to go on the lash later on. We'll be done, CCP.
I know, I should have realised he was in a fragile state.
But by the same token, people that do have big super fleets and capital fleets and things like that, nobody's going to get that notification
Exactly.
that suddenly all these things are logging in.
Yeah.
Because certainly from
You're more careful now.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't just see the goon swarm logging in the supers and bail out as soon as you can.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you've got to be more. You got to have the actual spies in the system watching. So you've got to actually do something. It's not just free intel, like you said. You actually got to work for it.
Totally, and that's the thing. Like, obviously, a lot of people will be kind of. They think that this is maybe ruining a certain play style or something like that. I think Masterplan said it best in the meeting where he said that he's fully confident that people will find other ways to kill supers. We have faith in the ingenuity and the machinations of our players. So that's something we've announced today, and obviously we'll be taking feedback on this as well. I'm sure there's already people talking about this.
On that note, everyone talking about it. On that note, we're going to wrap up today, but please check out this video at the end of the Creator Studio. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's what you're here for. So thank you for joining us today. Obviously, my two co-hosts. Lovely to have you sat on the sofa. And yeah, that's it from now. See you later.